My first guest is a talented actor who stars in the new movie Wild Mountain Thyme, which is in theaters and on demand December 11th. Here is Jamie Dornan. Hey, Buzz. Oh, it's good to see you, pal.
Good to see you too, man.
I know crazy circumstances, but how are you and your family doing? I know you have three daughters under the age of 8, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you have two around that same age,
Yep.
right?
What has the past
Yeah,
9 months been like with three kids?
I think it's been all encompassing. It's kind of been the agony and the ecstasy, like in the same
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah.
It's some of the most challenging days I've ever had as a parent, as we've ever had as parents, and then some of the most fun to to spend all this time together. And kids are amazing because they truly live in the moment, so they're not concerned about what's happening and why the world is the way it is at this age. They're just, this is what we have now. Let's have fun. So like that's a great thing to be around.
I saw you took the plunge and rejoined Instagram in quarantine. Tell me about your first post here. What is going on here? What happened to you?
I mean, it looks like I'm the most committed actor ever auditioning for Blue Man Group, but
I knew that was you. I knew that was you. You ignored me when I was looked. I go, Jamie, hello, we have a thing, and you just like were quiet and, with your turtleneck, and you walked off the stage. What was happening there?
What's actually happening is I had to get this full body cast or upper body cast and head cast made for a job, which I was about to start shooting when the pandemic hit, and actually I'm not able to shoot that anymore because of schedule. So someone else is now playing their character. But the good though, because that is a hellish experience doing that. I don't know if you've had that done, but it's really, really uncomfortable. And I'm not a panicky person, but I had a full panic attack because I'm not a great nose breather anyway, but they put like 2 little holes in your nose, and that was the only way I could breathe. So I was really struggling, and it's like 45 minutes. But I've been told that if I ever have to do it again for anything, I won't have to because they have my cast now. So it's the only time I ever have to do that in my life.
It's currently a mannequin at Macy's. It's in the front window. Congratulations.
I'm delighted.
No, I did that for SNL, where they did the thing, but it didn't take 45 minutes. I just did a face thing though too. But actually, I have such a big Irish face that it did take 45 minutes. An extra plaster. They go, gosh, you have a really big head. What else have you taken up in quarantine? Have you time to focus on any hobbies or any new talents? Or
I like everybody, I thought, how can I use this time to the best of my ability when I have so much of it? And I signed up for like a fast learning harmonica course. It was one of those things. It's on the side of your email, your inbox, and it's like, learn harmonica in 3 weeks, you'll be an expert. And instead of $179, it's like $46 or something. So I was like, yeah, okay.
That's a deal.
Haven't played once.
Oh my God! You didn't even do one lesson.
In fact, I didn't even do the first. I didn't even open the trial. No. But
well, you had the intention. Oh, you have the harmonica there.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God! It's fairly simple. You could probably figure out. I think you should start teaching the lessons. I know that song, of course.
Can I take that on the road, like a one-man show, like Dick Van Dyke?
If you don't, I think you're wasting a lot of. That's a big opportunity there that you should take. I think let's go back to talk about your acting. I'm so excited about this movie because I love romantic comedies. I'm Irish. I think Ireland is just so gorgeous and beautiful. It's called Wild Mountain Thyme, Thyme, and it was filmed in Ireland and set not too far where you grew up. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, it's based on John Patrick Shanley, who wrote and directed our movie. He did a play that was on Broadway called Outside Mullingar. Mullingar is in County Meath, which is, I'm from County Down. It's probably 200 miles from where I grew up, so not a million miles away. And it's a strange story. I don't know if you're familiar with Shanley's movies, but and the way he writes, but they're quite heightened, fantastical kind of worlds, and This is almost like a fairy tale, like a fable. It's very romantic, but it's kind of otherworldly. And Emily Blunt and I play these two quite disconnected, quite strange Irish farmers who are sort of destined to be together, but can't work out a way to be together. But yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell.
It's a great cast. It's you, Emily Blunt, as your love interest, John Hamm, who's just a friend, and just, gosh, we love him here. Christopher Walken, who's, luckily, I got to work with that guy, I think 4 times on SNL, on Saturday Night Live. He plays your father. Isn't he the most fun, interesting guy?
Yeah, but also, he's Christopher Walken. I mean, it literally doesn't get more kind of iconic, I don't think, in our game,
Yeah.
And he's, as you know well, like, he's actually just like the sweetest guy in the world. And he's played so many sinister characters and so many weighted, heavy, sort of frightening characters. And he's like the sweetest dude. He was like really just very connected and like calm.
He's a great dancer. I mean, he's on top of
amazing.
acting. He can do everything. Yeah. After you talk with him for a while, do you find yourself starting to lean into the impression a little bit when you talk to him? Like,
dude, I think it's like the sort of, like it's like the equivalent of like having to sit on your hands, so that you don't start to gesture him, or start to like mimic him. Like I'm not a brilliant mimic. You are. I wouldn't say I'm a great mimic, but everyone has a Christopher Walken. Like everyone has one. So you're sort of really forcing yourself not to do it, because imagine how many times people do it to him, and it's bad. And actually, I think you realize in person, like, it's more, the impressions has become their own thing, that they're way more pushed than the reality of how he speaks,
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I find myself, I do it all the time. Even just interviewing even you, I find myself, thinking I can do a pretty good Irish accent. My key to the Irish accent for me, I would never attempt one, but I just keep saying the word M. And that's all you keep saying.
That can get you pretty far. That can get you
bad.
like a good night out in a pub. You can just get by with just saying that.
I should learn how to play harmonica. I shouldn't even think about acting. But I heard Emily Blunt introduce you to something you call acting juice on the set. What's acting juice?
So I actually don't even know the brand name, and I should, because if I start like telling people, then they'll send me a load of it, and I'll be delighted. But she had just done this movie Jungle Cruise with Dwayne Johnson, and I guess Dwayne Johnson got her onto this this stuff. It's like an energy drink, so she had loads of it like with her in Ireland. Like she'd had it like shipped over. And she's like, "Do you want to try one?" And that was just this fateful day that I tried this like great flavored like juice. And it is like, I don't know, it's like Red Bull times 10 or something, but apparently not as bad for you. And it just makes you feel like you're kind of maybe about to have a heart attack, or what I imagine that feels like.
That's the slogan. That's the slogan for the energy drink. If you drink this, you'll feel like
unique selling point.
You might have a heart attack. Yeah.
You feel like you're having a heart attack, but you're okay. You won't.
Yeah. Legally, you can't sue us.
That sort of sustains for a while, but it just got to the point where Emily and I convinced ourselves that we sort of couldn't act without this stuff. So we were just calling it acting juice, and we'd be really panicking if they're like, "Okay, guys, we're going to shoot in about 5 minutes. You ready for that scene?" And we'd be like, "Yeah," and then be like, "There's no acting juice anywhere here."
I don't know what to do anymore. I need the acting juice.
Honestly, luckily I've done a movie since, and I didn't have any acting juice, and it all went okay. So I don't think I'm reliant on it.
Yeah, you still got the chops, and gosh, the chemistry between you guys was perfect. So whatever it was, it worked. I want to show a clip. Here's Jamie Dornan and Emily Blunt in Wild Mountain Thyme. Take a look.
Anthony! Are you all right?
I'm fine.
What are you doing out there?
Fishing.
That was fishing.
Yeah.
Without a rod. Who were you talking to?
Wasn't talking.
Looked to be talking, then swatting, then you jumped in.
I did not. It's a Kelly's a jumping. I'm O'Reilly.
You're O'Reilly.
What are you doing down by the river?
What I've been doing after this one.
Oh, you're not still from the night before.
I am.
Well, God in heaven, you look the worse for it.
Well, thanks much. You don't look perfect yourself.
On and on and on. I said, and it's